What's up, guys? So today we'll be discussing about Spiti Valley in the month of February 2025. What you should be expecting in terms of weather, the road condition, accessibility. Will it be snowing in the month of February, and overall what a kind of gear you need to be carrying to Spiti Valley for the month of February 2025. Keep in mind that winter is late this year, so the peak of winter snowfall is expected in the month of January and February, which is very similar to what happened last year, where it started to snow after the 15th of January and it went on till end of March. So this year in the winter of 24-25 seems very similar, that the month of February will be a completely white and a snow covered Spiti. So if you're someone who's planning on traveling to Spiti Valley in February, brace yourself for extremely cold and harsh weather conditions. So now when it comes to the weather, the daytime temperature will range from anywhere between -5 to +7 degrees, while the temperature after sunset would be anywhere between -6 to -25 degrees. So keep in mind that when you're traveling to Spiti Valley in February, you need to be having very good winter wear. And when I say good winter wear, I mean ones which can withstand this kind of extreme weather conditions. To get such kind of winter wear, you will need to go to a proper store, something like Decathlon or Wildcraft, and pick up your gear. You cannot really sit and get the locally made things which you get on Amazon, because those jackets will show you that it can withstand -10 or 20, and if they cannot, you will literally end up freezing to death. Now when it comes to road condition, keep in mind that the Manali road via Rohtang Pass in Kunzumla is closed because of heavy snowfall. So the only way in and out of Spiti Valley in the month of February is via Shimla, which is via Kinnaur Road. But this road also can shut because of landslides and roadblocks because of heavy snowfall and snow cover. So when you're traveling to Spiti Valley in the month of February, make sure that you have a longer trip planned, a minimum of 8 days or more, so that you have a day or two which is a banker day. In case you end up getting stuck, you can resume your journey and avoid missing your return flight or train. When it comes to accommodation, most of the homestays are open. Hotels may not be open, but homestays are open in all places, in all the villages, including Dankar, Langza, even in places like Tabo. So you do not need to only be staying in Kaza. You can also stay in Dankar and Tabo if you're interested in getting a more authentic experience. Heaters is something which is not easily available all over, and even if they assure you with heaters, it's important to know that nearly every day of the week in winters, electricity goes off by 11 o'clock in the night, so the heaters are pretty much useless. It's better to carry a good sleeping bag which can withstand this temperature of -20 degrees when you're traveling to Spiti Valley. Sleeping bags will really keep you warm. Initially it will be cold, but once you get in and your body heat moves around the bag, it will become extremely warm and will help you get a good night's sleep, along with the blankets that are anyways provided in the homestays. When you're traveling to Spiti Valley in winter, keep in mind that not all the places are accessible. Chandrata Lake is not at all possible because the entire road ahead of Losar is completely cut off because of snowfall. So do not even consider venturing out in that direction, because it'll just add to more complications and could also result in you getting stuck. Cell phone network with Jio and Airtel is very good. Even BSNL has very good network, so you'll be well connected with your family members. Just make sure that you have a power bank with you, and my personal recommendation is carry 2 power banks of 10,000 mAh each, so that you can charge them alternatively. This is better than carrying a 20,000 mAh power bank, because it's less heavier, and at the same time you can charge one while you're using the other one. When it comes to your gear, there's already a video which we have made. We link the video into the description, and you can check out how to go about getting your gear for this trip to Spiti Valley. We also have a trip to Spiti Valley which is planned in the month of February. If you're interested, you can click on the link in the description and you can go ahead and book the trip. That's your choice. Now when it comes to what you should be careful about, make sure that you are someone who has already been to Spiti Valley in summer when you're planning a trip to Spiti Valley in winter, because Spiti Valley is an extreme place to be going in winter, because the temperature of -20 isn't as brutal as what it is when you actually experience it when you're there. And this will become even more brutal because when you're stuck over there for whatever reason, be it for a roadblock or an avalanche, your trip will become a nightmare. So to avoid that kind of a horrible experience, my personal recommendation is, if you're someone who has never been to Spiti Valley, first go there in the summer and then take a decision of whether you want to continue exploring this place furthermore, and then plan a trip to a winter Spiti in the following year. But do not make your first trip to Spiti in winter, because that could be a deadly consequence on you and the fellow travelers. When it comes to people who like to self drive, Spiti Valley in winter is not a self drive destination, no matter how good your driving skills are. You can be good in the city, but when it comes to the mountain terrain with snowfall, your skill will be tested to the core, and you do not want to risk your life and your fellow passengers' lives. So it's always better to book a local driver who can bring his vehicle and take you around this entire journey, so that you can enjoy the journey without having to worry about your car and your own safety. Make sure that whoever you book for this journey has chains for the vehicle, because without chains it is impossible to get through Spiti Valley in the month of February. Now, a very important point that you need to know when you're traveling to Spiti Valley in the month of February is that you can fall prey to altitude sickness very easily. So it's important that you go and get a medical checkup done with your local doctor before you leave for this trip. A checkup is important so that if there is any kind of complication, it can be detected earlier, because Spiti Valley isn't the place that you want to fall sick in. Keep in mind that Tabo, Kaza have very good medical facilities, but it is not going to be able to save your life. You'll have to come all the way back to Rekong Pio, which is quite a distance from Kaza, and you do not want to put yourself in that stress in the month of February in winter in Spiti Valley. So just do a medical checkup, you'll get an understanding. Also, if you're someone who's watching this video now and you've already booked your trip, my personal recommendation is start working out in terms of uphill walking and climbing and running, because this will come very handy before you embark on your journey to Spiti Valley in the month of February. Biking in Spiti Valley also is not at all an option in the month of February. There is no way you can get in and out of Spiti Valley with a bike, no matter even if you're coming with a group of bikers. It is the biking of death, what I would recommend it to be. So do not even leave a comment asking how long and how far you can end up with a bike in Spiti Valley. It's pointless, because you can't really go in and out of Spiti Valley with a bike in the month of February. If you're interested in biking to Spiti Valley, it's July, August, September and October is when biking to Spiti Valley is at its best. Now, when you are planning on getting to Spiti Valley, what are the activities that you can do? Photography is at its best. You can also experience the snowfall in the form of playing snowball fights with your fellow travelers. When it comes to food, keep in mind that very few restaurants and cafes will be open, and all of these will serve you very basic food in terms of rajma chawal, parathas and momos here and there. Do not expect anything lavish in Spiti Valley in February. Now, if you are someone who's already suffering from health complication in terms of heaviness and difficulties in walking, and you have a problem of enduring cold, my personal recommendation is do not go to Spiti Valley in February, because that's going to backfire. Do not travel to Spiti Valley if you are someone who has an issue of worrying about the weather in terms of how cold it will get, and if the cold really gets to you and causes problems. Do not go to Spiti. This is all